Sakito and Bundi find Shishiro on a rooftop as he begins his mission, using a drone to scout the home of the Aoi family, which is guarded by a slew of bodyguards. Sakito wants to join him, and Shishiro says he'll hire them as long as they follow his orders and not ask questions. Sakito says they do their own things as fixers, but he agrees to Shishiro's terms. Meanwhile, the general asks Disrace why Madrex seems so different. Disrace says memories are just unnecessary trash, and all he wanted was Madrex's power as a raider. Now he is Disrace's bodyguard and their anti-Boonboomger weapon. Disrace gives the general their orders for today, and Atasha keys in a ringside bell to bring about Gonguruma. Back at the garage, Taya, Shirabe, Mira, and Ju are reviewing what happened with the return of Madrex. Bun Bun makes them iced tea for a break, and Mira and Ju ask where Shishiro is today. Bun Bun says he's out doing spy things, and they give him the space to do so. In fact, Shishiro being able to sneak into Taya's mansion is how they first met him. Like he is doing now at the Iori's residence, Shishiro had been able to hack into Taya's security to allow him to get in. He was even able to break through Taya and Bun Bun's counter-programs. Shirabe asks what Shishiro could possibly have wanted here. Bun Bun says Shishiro was looking for him. Shirabe, Mira, and Ju are shocked. That means they had originally met as enemies, Ju says. Taya goes on to explain that Ju had reached just outside the garage, but they were able to catch up using Taya's simple tripwire. At that moment, Shishiro asked if it was Taya who came up with the idea, and Taya says it's a very Bakuage thing. And from then on, they became friends. Shishiro ended up lying to his employer and keep Bun Bun a secret. His employer at the time being the ISA. Taya says the ISA had noticed Bun Bun when he first landed on his property, so they hired Shishiro to look into it. Shirabe can't believe it, as she had no idea. Taya says the whole thing was completely out of her pay grade, so of course she wouldn't have known. Back at the Aoi residence, Sakito and Bundi head to the front door and begin to engage with the guards. Mr. Aoi comes out to check on the commotion, and his son ends up being entertained by Bundi. This distraction allows Shishiro to sneak in over the wall. Just then, the General 3 and Gonguruma appear. The guards try to shoot, but their bullets do nothing on the Kurumaju. He hits them back, and then collects the resulting gasholin. Sakito henshins, but Gonguruma puts boxing gloves on him so he is unable to use any weapons. Inside the home, Shishiro makes his way through and finds what the director hired him to retrieve. A Hashiriyan key. Shishiro heads outside to join Sakito against the Kurumaju. He calls the others to let them know what is going on, and Mira is taken aback when Shishiro tells her they are at the home of her former fiancé's family. Taya, Mira, and Ju henshin and hurry out, but they are stopped in their tracks by Madrex. Shishiro shows Bayundi the key he retrieved, much to the shock of the General 3. When the father and son Iori run over, Shishiro demands they explain how they have a Hashiriyan key. Mr. Aori explains that they made a deal with Cannonborg. If they joined the Hashiriyans, they would become the head of the Earth Corps once the Hashiriyans took over the planet. And the key was given to them as a sign of their agreement. The Aoris run away as Gonguruma knocks Sakito back. Boonboom calls Shishiro to update him on the others, but Shishiro says they will take care of things here. With Sakito down for the count, Shishiro steps into the ring. Sakito asks if he can handle it, but Shishiro says he has been trained in a variety of fighting styles since he was young. His parents had the same job as he did. Shishiro says Sakito can figure out the rest. Shishiro henshins, but Gonguruma also puts boxing gloves on him. No problem, Shishiro says, and they box and battle. Sakito's able to jump in from the other direction and land a big punch as well. Shishiro is impressed by Sakito's foresight. Sakito says Shishiro makes a good boss. They team up and deliver a double Bakuage punch to finish off Gonguruma. Yaruka embiggens the Kurumaju. Shishiro lends Sakito his car as he locks in Marine. Shishiro, Sakito, Bundi, and Bun Bun combine into Wing Boonboomger Robo Marine and Off-Road Custom. Gonguruma shrinks them into a mini ring, but they are able to fly out and get themselves back to size. They deliver a Boonboomger full throttle punch to finish off Gonguruma for good. Madrex declares the mission complete and is about to retreat, but Taya zooms at Madrex and slashes at his head. That seems to trigger his memories. Taya asks what happened to Madrex, but Genba arrives to interrupt. Genba demands Madrex tell him where Disrace is. Madrex is surprised to learn Disrace is even on Earth. He flashes a bright light at them to give himself an opportunity to get away. Genba walks away. Ju and Mira hate to see Genba like this, but Taya says Genba is fighting against himself. Later, Shishiro delivers the key to the director. "You're not brushing me off this time?" the director asks. Shishiro says he doesn't know what he's talking about. Shishiro asks if the director hired him just because it involved Hashiriyans. The director says his job's done, so his questions are pointless. Taya arrives as the director leaves. The director calls Naito-san and confirms they've collected all the keys, despite Cannonborg having complicated things. Supervising the Hashiriyan is under their control after all. Shishiro says the Hashiriyans might not be their only foe. Taya says that does not change their responsibility to come running when they hear the cries of the people.